Nancy, the judge has now handed the verdict forms to the clerk, and we're starting to
Let's take a listen, everybody.
Clerk, read the verdicts.
Superior Court of the State of California for the County of Santa Barbara, Santa Maria Division. The people of the State of California plaintiff versus Michael Joe Jackson defendant. Case number 1133603. Count 1, verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of conspiracy as charged in count 1 of the indictment, dated June 13, 2005, foreperson number 80. Count 2, verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of a lewd act upon a minor child as charged in count 2 of the indictment, dated June 13, 2005, foreperson number 80. Count 3, verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of a lewd act upon a minor child as charged in count 3 of the indictment, dated June 13, 2005, foreperson number 80. Count 4, verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of lewd act upon a minor child as charged in count 4 of the indictment, dated June 10, 2005, foreperson number 80. Count 5, verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of a lewd act upon a minor child as charged in count 5 of the indictment, dated June 10, 2005, foreperson number 80. Count 6, verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of attempting to commit a lewd act upon a minor child as charged in count 6 of the indictment, dated June 13, 2005, foreperson number 80. Count 7, verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of administering an intoxicating agent to assist in the commission of a felony as charged in count 7 of the indictment, dated June 13, 2005, foreperson number 80. Count 7, verdict, lesser offense. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of providing alcoholic beverages to persons under the age of 21, a lesser included offense of that charge in count 7 of the indictment, dated June 13, 2005, foreperson number 80. Count 8, verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of administering an intoxicating agent to assist in the commission of a felony as charged in count 8 of the indictment, dated June 13, 2005, foreperson number 80. Count 8, verdict, lesser offense. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of providing alcoholic beverages to persons under the age of 21, a lesser included offense that charged in count 8 of the indictment, dated June 13, 2005, foreperson number 80. Count 9, verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of administering an intoxicating agent to assist in the commission of a felony as charged in count 9 of the indictment, dated June 10, 2005, foreperson number 80. Count 9, verdict, lesser offense. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of providing alcoholic beverages to persons under the age of 21, a lesser included offense of that charge in count 9 of the indictment, dated June 10, 2005, foreperson number 80. Count 10, verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of administering an intoxicating agent to assist in the commission of a felony as charged in count 10 of the indictment, dated June 10, 2005, foreperson number 80. Count 10, verdict, lesser offense. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant not guilty of providing alcoholic beverages to persons under the age of 21, a lesser included offense of that charge in count 10 of the indictment, dated June 10, 2005, foreperson number 80.
That completes the reading of the verdicts. I'm now going to go off the air.
All right, you heard it. 1 through 10, including the lessers, not guilty across the board. Let's go right out to Savannah Guthrie. Savannah, we've been seeing white doves being released. Tell us what else is going on.
Well, an absolute rush, a roar from the crowd with every not guilty count. It was read 14 times, those words, not guilty, for Michael Jackson, and the crowd went crazy as this jury completely rejects the prosecution's case against Michael Jackson. Susan Yu, who is Tom Mesereau's right-hand woman, and he wouldn't try a case without her, I'm told, was crying as these verdicts were read. Tom Mesereau emotionless. I have not been given word yet on what Michael Jackson's reaction to this clean sweep from the jury was. To say, I've just gotten a note that Michael was seen in the courtroom just dabbing his eyes, and that at that point Tom Mesereau, his defense attorney, tapped him on the shoulder. At Susan Yu continuing to cry as everyone else in that courtroom seems to be pretty much emotionless.
All right, Nancy, I know you're going to have to run, but before you do, your reaction.
Well, I'm having a crow sandwich right now. It doesn't taste very good, but you know what? I'm also not surprised. I thought that celebrity is such a big factor. When you think you know somebody, when you have watched their concerts, listened to their records, read the lyrics, believe they were coming from somebody's heart, Jackson is very charismatic, although he never took the stand. That has an effect on this jury. I'm not going to throw a stone at the mom, although I think she was the weak link in the state's case. But the reality is, I'm not surprised. I thought that the jury would vote in favor of the similar transaction witness. Apparently, the defense overwhelmed them with the cross-exam of the mother. I think it boils down to that, plain and simple.
All right, thank you very much. So, Savannah, were you surprised that none of the lesser counts, the alcohol, delinquency sort of counts, none of those panned out?
You know, given what the first set of verdicts were, you can see Michael Jackson out walking out. And interesting, Catherine, the same expression he had walking in.
Yep.
He had that bemused expression when he was walking in before the verdict was returned. I don't know that I've ever seen a criminal defendant in a case so profound for him that could have had such a dramatic impact on his life remain as expressionless.
Well, I'll tell you, my gut reaction is medication.
And it's probably true.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. But going back to your question, as we watch him walking out now, I think once they said not guilty to the first grouping,
right.
You and I and Vinny were sitting right here together, and I think we all sort of looked at each other and said, that's it. They're going to cross the board with not guilty. It's obviously took them a week to wrestle with all these things. As you said, we don't know. Go ahead, Savannah. I'm sorry.
That's Michael coming out, and let me tell you, the crowd is going wild as he walks out of this courthouse, a free man fully vindicated by this jury in Santa Maria.
Well, it looks like he's heading to the SUV. Do we anticipate that any sort of press conference by the defense team may take place at Neverland?
Well, that wasn't the plan, Catherine. The plan was for a defense courtroom appearance in another courtroom in this building, and that Michael Jackson would be in attendance in the case of an acquittal, which clearly this is. But as we say, it's a fluid situation. Who knows what Michael Jackson has decided now, now that this nightmare for him is over.
And Jack, you made an interesting point.
Well, as I said, if we know that he's been on various medications throughout the course of this trial, and if he is indeed still on them, if I'm his lawyer and I'm his doctor, I'm saying, no, Michael, it's not the time for you to talk right now. I'll talk as your lawyer. You can talk another time if you want to, but now's not the time.
Absolutely.
Catherine, the attorneys still plan to speak. Not sure about Michael Jackson. You see him leaving there, but the attorneys certainly are still planning to address the media.
Now, well, in looking at him, I would probably say, let's go home, and you can issue a statement at a later time. Vinny, were you surprised about the lesser counts? Because there was a lot of pretty uncontroverted about passing around Jesus juice. And
it might be a case where they just said, you know, it goes to the credibility of the entire case. We don't believe this. We don't believe anything.
Catherine?
But go ahead, Savannah.
I'm sorry, but I have something. Judge Melville read a note from the jury after this, and this is mostly what it says. This is not a verbatim. We, the jury, feeling the weight of the world's eyes upon us all, thoroughly and meticulously studied the evidence. We competently came to our verdict. We respectfully request the world allow us to return to our private lives as anonymously as we came in.
Bless their hearts. Well, we'll see. Of course, we've got one juror that is apparently writing her book, so I don't know how anonymous some of these people actually want to be. What about the arrangements then? We see Mesereau stayed behind as the SUVs are leaving, so we still anticipate that he may respond after Sneddon. Do we know what the arrangements are for the DA, Savannah?
Yeah, the DA is supposed to go first. There's a place where a news conference has been arranged. She's supposed to come down with the entire prosecution team.